Hello everyone and welcome again to my Sunday learning episode of Quick and Easy. And today I have picked up the quality topic and hope you will learn today about how to perform a root cause analysis after watching this video. Hope you like this video and I'm sharing my screen. Before we understand how to perform a basic RCA, let us understand why we perform a root cause analysis. So we perform a root cause analysis to not repeat a similar problem or a defect again by understanding the root cause and by taking corrective action and preventive action against the root cause. So if I try to explain what are the different types of RCA. So the different types of RCA can be broadly divided into three major categories based on the impact and the complexity of the problem we are dealing with. So if it is a low impact and a low complexity problem, then we can perform basic RCA, which includes causal analysis and 5 whys. And if it is a middle impact and a middle complex problem, then we can use tools like Pareto, A3 and 8D. And if it is a high impact and a high complex problem, then statistical tools like Six Sigma and Lean Six Sigma can be used to perform a root cause analysis. So today in this video, I'm going to talk about how to perform a basic RCA. That is about causal analysis and 5 whys. And I can make a different video on middle level RCA and high level RCA. So let us see how can we perform a basic level of RCA. To perform a basic level of RCA, so 4 steps needs to be completed. So step 1 is defining the problem. Step 2 is identifying the possible root causes and grouping them. Step 3 is once you know the possible root cause, narrowing down it to the correct root cause. And the fourth is to validate with data whether the root cause what you have identified is the actual root cause or not. So we will understand all these 4 steps quickly with the help of a simple example. Let us consider a problem, and a problem is transit damage of packages leading to customer dissatisfaction. So to understand the root cause of this problem, the step 2 is to identify a small group of a team, mainly a cross-functional group of a team with a team leader who can navigate or who can animate the entire process steps. So once this team is formed, then a brainstorming session is required to be carried out to understand the possible root causes which could lead to this transit damage. Once the cross-functional team is formed, the team is required to carry out a brainstorming session where all the possible root causes are required to be identified, which would lead to this problem of transit damage. So once all the possible root causes are identified, they are required to be grouped under similar categories. So this grouping can be done with the help of cause and effect diagram, or we call it as a fishbone diagram. And this exercise is very important just to make sure that all the possible root causes in all the categories are well identified, and these similar kind of root causes are getting removed from the discussion with the help of the fishbone diagram. So once the activity of grouping the different possible root causes under different categories completed, the next step is to narrowing down to the correct root cause. So for this, the tool 5Y is used to dig down deep and understand the real root cause or the most probable root cause from the possible root cause which comes out from the brainstorming session. Let us take one possible root cause, the incorrect material. So that possible root cause, if you do 5Y analysis, then you might reach to a scenario where the root cause could be the tool maintenance issue at the sub-supplier place. So for example, if you ask why there was an incorrect material for the packages, so there could be dimensional issues. So if you ask why there was a dimensional issues, then you could understand that there were some kind of supplier process issues. So why there were process issues, then you could understand that there were some tool worn out. The tool which was used to manufacture the material was worn out. So if you ask why the tool was worn out, then the right root cause could be there was some maintenance issue with the tool at the supplier place. So this is how the 5 why analysis is carried out to reach to the most probable. If I want to summarize step 2 and step 3, I would summarize step 2 and step 3 as a journey from understanding possible root causes to reaching the most probable root cause. Once you have the most probable root cause, then the fourth step is to validate with data. So there are different techniques of validating with data, but I'm trying to make it in a simpler form and trying to give you all 3 questions which can help you to understand whether the most probable root cause coming out from step 3 is correct or it is not correct. So there are 3 questions which can be asked to reach to the right root cause. So the question number 1 is, what is the proof that the cause exists? So if we say like tool maintenance issue is the cause, then we need to verify with the data whether it is the real cause or there were some other causes for which tool worn out has happened. The second question could be, can anything else trigger the effect? So tool worn out could be a side effect or could be an effect of tool maintenance issue, or there were some other issue which has led to tool worn out. So that could be another discussion to understand that the most probable root cause which has been identified is correct or not. And the third question is anything needed in addition? So this discussion needs to be carried out in a small group of team just to make sure that whether the identification of the root cause in step 3 is correct or there are different views by different people in the in the system. So this is all about how to perform a basic root cause analysis. So once you have the root cause or once you identify the root cause through this process, you are required to carry out the corrective action and the preventive action based on the root cause. So if you want to understand what is the difference between corrective action and preventive action and what are the different steps to carry out a corrective action and preventive action, you can go and watch my lesson 4 video where I've explained about the corrective action and preventive action. So with this, I'm closing today's video. I hope you have learned today how to perform a basic RCA, and thanks for watching this video. Stay safe, happy Sunday, and again, don't forget, Tagda Raho.